Well, good afternoon, good evening to Steve.
Good afternoon, good evening.
And good evening to Bill. Good evening to everybody else that's watching. We're back for yet another match in the Virtual 9-Ball World Championship of this year, 2024. One loss side between Larry and Bedhead. The winner will play Spectre Dawn. And then, of course, if we just have a quick confirmation at the bracket, the Spectre Dawn match winner will then play MC Clarkey. That's where we've got to. So Matt is sitting there waiting on the winner of this match and the winner of another match. So it's a little bit slowed up on the bottom half of the draw. But not many matches left now. Now, I've got a theory about last night, Steve. See if you agree with me. At the point in the match last night with, and I don't know whether the other guys will agree with me in the stream, but Matt was 5-2 up at the time. So he had a little lead, and Semi-Pro started going on about, breaking like God and that sort of stuff. And in the middle of that rack, that was the point where Matt told him to cut out the chat in no uncertain terms. Now I'm just wondering psychologically, this is the non-trained psychologist in me. I wonder if Matt actually done Semi-Pro a favour, because if he'd said nothing, you could have another 10-15 minutes of that going on. And with the fact that Matt told him to cut it out, Semi-Pro had nothing else to put his mind on other than playing the game, rather than thinking about what he's going to type for the next 10 minutes. I think he did him a favour in getting him out of that sort of blockage of thinking how bad is things going for me, and had nothing else to focus on than the actual playing the game, which he should be doing all the time. And then the end result, the end result was that it ended up being a match one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, here's my take on things. My philosophy is, if your opponent's playing poorly, never do anything to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't upset him. Don't argue with him. Because the most important thing when things aren't going right is changing them. Now, if you're a pool player, the typical way that you would change things is raise the bet. So let's say you're not playing well and you're losing. That's when you want to raise the bet, because you're changing something.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're winning, you don't want to change anything. And Matt doing that possibly could have changed something. I'm not saying that that's why Semi-Pro started playing better, but it could have been. So we're seeing, we've seen a couple for Larry and one for Bed. I just found out that Larry has a superpower. He just told us yesterday.
What superpower was that?
He smokes weed.
I must admit. Oh, right.
That's a superpower.
I think that's what's affecting him. I think that's what's affected him all these years, and he hasn't won a virtual world championship because of it.
Oh no, you can play good on weed. I mean, that's
well, or he's not smoking enough. One of the two. Well,
Larry right off the bat plays a safety, and is it any good? I'm not sure it is.
Oh no, it wasn't Larry that won the lag. It was Bedhead won the lag.
Yeah, and Larry's going to pay for that, because if I'm Bedhead, I'm looking to put this right in behind the 5-ball. And it's certainly possible here.
Can he get enough room to get in and get the spin working without hitting that 6-ball first?
Yeah, no, I think he can. I mean, he's going to hit the one more full.
Yeah, he can. Now he needs to miss the 3.
Well, he didn't miss the 3, but it was a good shot. I mean, it was a little tight to get it to. He was catching more of the one than you would want to, but he had to do it that way because of how they were sitting.
Welcome everybody. Welcome Mark, Coldest Bellow, whoever else is there, Bill, Cobra.
Now this is tough. there's a safety thin off the left side. You hit it too thick, you go in the corner. And it's not a good safety because you're probably going to miss the 6 ball hitting it thin, and it's going to be hard not to sell out. I mean, this is shitty if you're Larry.
Yeah, he's going to leave that wide open.
Yeah, it was hard not to sell that out. I mean, that was a bad situation.
Well, the 2 ball goes into the side. He's just got to try and get into the gap around behind the 6. He's got the angle to do that. I don't believe he's going to try anything else heroic to get there. Well, he has he hit it? Oh well, he's just got there.
And this is really a hanger. I think if you don't like this shot, you should practice it because it's really not that tough, especially on these pockets are pretty big.
Gudrun Ewer is the name you're looking for, Mark. She was 98. I think she must have been. Well, when you think about that, that program was made in the 80s.
And Bedhead has no problem with it.
So she must have been what, 80s, 90s. She should be what, in her 60s then maybe.
And I like the way Bedhead's hitting the balls. He's hit all the balls in this rack really well. Good position. Bedhead's capable of playing at a very high level. I mean, honestly, I feel like he should have won one of these world championships by now because he's got the game. He just hasn't been consistent enough.
Yeah. Larry's Larry's in the same boat, pretty much. Watch this cue ball behind the 7. There's a disaster. Look at that.
Yeah, that's.
And that's as bad as Matt last night scratching in off the 8-ball in the side.
He had a choice. He could have shortened it up and checked it, or he could have opened it up. No, anything but roll at the 7-ball.
There's no way he didn't know that cue ball was heading towards the 7. So you have to say, right, do I take the risk that I'm running towards the 7 and something daft might happen, or do I take evasive action? He chose not to.
Obviously, you did.
Yeah.
Didn't know. If he knew, then
he's not that crazy.
Well, if he knew, then it's just dumb. I mean, because if you know you're going to run it,
well, see, the thing is, don't kid himself that he wasn't listening to the little voice in his head that said, "Listen, this 7-ball might be annoying us. Let's try and avoid it." Or do we just ignore the little voice and do nothing and end up with that happening?
Yeah. It's the it'll be okay. Just hit it.
Whenever you ignore it, you end up paying the price.
Yeah, and that is a big difference in level. I see guys all the time that hit the ball pretty good, and they do that all the time, and they feel like they're getting bad rolls or this or that. They're just like hitting it and not really paying that attention to the line it wants to run out, and then when they get hooked, they feel like it's a bad roll. Yeah, and that was not very good there. He's still fine, but
he's left himself dodgy here. Yeah,
you really want to be a little straighter than that.
Yeah, Larry's toned down, and he's overcut that. He's overcut it. So he's toned down his mouse, right? I've noticed that when we were playing.
Oh, he's got a mouse now?
Well, he's toned down his what do you call it? His trackball. Right, he's toned it down, so his sensitivity looks as if it's way down, and he's trying to get used to that now.
I think he can shoot this combo. I think it's just dead straight on the 8.
Yep,
there it is.
That's a huge fail. Big fail by Bedhead, but he got gifted it back. And again, this is where Larry's time in the tournament is limited here because he couldn't get out there, and that's what he can't do. And now he's been given it straight back, ball in hand, and he's got to get out here as well. So
yeah, it's this is not the start to the match Larry wanted.
Welcome to Wit. Who else for the character? Who was the other main character in that Super Grand Mark? You're old enough, you'll remember. I'll tell you. The bad guy was Scunner Campbell, played by Ian Cuthbertson. Great Scottish character actor in his day. Billy Connolly sang the theme tune, which is now politically incorrect, by the way, I hasten to point out. That's why you won't see repeats of the programme, because the song is politically incorrect. It's the woke culture has got to that one.
Everything's politically incorrect now.
Billy Connolly sings Stand Back, Iceman. I don't know who Iceman was, but
he was totally politically correct when the people that are supposed to know the say politically incorrect. In other words, if you wear a kimono or a sombrero, you're doing cultural appropriation. You're appropriating other cultures. Mm-hmm. But you can go out to the Palestinian protest and wear the, what do they call the damn thing they put on their head, and you can do that, and that's not cultural appropriation, because you're doing it for this reason. I mean, they just make up the rules as they go along.
I was watching, you know, they're showing old episodes of Steptoe and Son, Mark, on what channel is it? They show the old episodes of them, and I was watching the episode last night where Albert has a bad back and he's in bed, and it's near the end of the episode.
That needs to run.
They bleeped out a word in the episode just because it's, you know, because it might upset somebody. Now, it might upset a minority, shall we say. You know, this is what we've got to. Yeah, Larry's got a tendency now to be soft hitting a lot of stuff, the way he's
a little too soft
right down. Yeah, and he might pay the price for that, or he might get dialed in and be really good. It'll work both ways. But finally, we're all square again.
Well, Larry got out there, and that was big. He needed to do that. Kind of a fail by Bedhead not to get out on a good table.
Yeah, drawing a good bank on here for Bedhead.
Well, I don't know if you want to bank this, because
the two balls nowhere. Yeah, I think I'd
be playing safe.
Yeah, likewise, I'd be ducking and diving here.
I'd be taking the one ball towards the other side of the three and take the cue ball down table. Well, kind of speed-wise, you're going to cut the one ball on the left side.
Well, you've got to make sure you don't cut it and it banks into the 6 and leave it wide
you got to. It's got to be short of the 6. And speed-wise, you're looking for speed to lay the one ball on the rail. I mean, it would be nice to get the cue ball all the way down, like behind the 9, but I'm not sure that's possible. Now he's looking the other way, and I don't like the other way because I think it's more difficult speed-wise. I mean, this isn't easy speed-wise, but it's easier than the right side of it.
Well, if they show Love Thy Neighbour, I don't know what channel that was on, because I never seen it, but if they show it, they must do an awful lot of silence and certain words mentioned in it.
See how hard he hit the one ball? I mean, he was trying to get the cue ball on the 9, and I would have just made sure I got the speed right on the 1. And if the cue ball makes it over behind the 9, great. But you know, if he didn't scratch, he would have sold out.
Well, why didn't he try to do? Maybe the 7 ball was in the way at the time, but why didn't he try and go short of the 9 and head over towards the 2?
Well, that was speed-wise, that wasn't going to be possible.
Well,
he was going to have to hit the 1 pretty thick, and Larry right off the bat.
He's immediately made his life difficult. He's pushed the 3 safe.
Ball in hand, and well, you know, this is where you run at the 5. He's got the angle to run at the 5. I would just run it. I mean, if you really want to play precision shape, you could go to the end rail and back at the 5, but I don't think that's a good shot. I would just try to make this 2 and hit the 5 ball with a little bit of speed and hope to get a shot on the 3.
Well, I'll tell you how woke it's become. What's his name that played the character? And what do you call him? He plays. He was the main character in Bo Selector. What do you call him? What's the name of him again?
Well, this may actually work out pretty good because he's got a free shot on the 9 ball and a safety.
Yeah.
You gotta like this. So this is just hit a little stun shot. He's not even gonna mess with the And that's a smart play, I think, because
Well, he
the
hasn't
9 ball was
he hasn't
tough,
cut out the
and
rail though. He hasn't got tight enough to it.
yeah, but he hit it pretty good. I mean, it's tough
Yeah.
rolling up real tight on balls. He hit it
No.
pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
Well, you've got to realise that's a character name as well. That's not his real name, but you're right enough who you're talking about. Well, do you know he's got a video on YouTube where he's apologising because he did Bo Selector and because he did Michael Jackson, because he did him that's the crap singer, him with the used to have the falcon in his wrist. He did an apology because he felt guilty because he was
Pays off.
in a black top character. This is what the world's come to. The fear of upsetting somebody.
Well, if you're in one of these political groups where it's like you either toe the line and agree with every single thing they say, or you're the enemy. You're either 100% with it or you're against them. There's no in between ground anymore. So that's why people are scared.
By the way, Slim, nobody mentioned Monday night 9-ball Scottish doubles until you appeared. We don't even want to cover that ground. That was a complete disaster by me on Monday. The two shots I had sold out.
This one's you don't want to hit real hard, and that new trackball setting he's got, that was really nicely done.
Well, we'll give Larry the benefit of the doubt. The more he plays with it in this pace, the more familiar he'll become with it.
Well, I want to see what happens when he has to hit one, So far, the softer shots have been really good. The pace has been good. The issue is what happens when you have to hit one. And he had to hit that a little, and that was actually pretty good. So maybe this is going to work out good for him.
Craig David. I think did he actually have a career, that guy? Well, this is make your mind up time, but to me, you just go 2 rails and you've got the 7-ball into the side, or well, it's tight past the 8-ball though.
I like going forward and shooting in the side, but you could hold it and shoot it in a corner. He's putting outside on it, which, he may be going 2 rails for the side.
He's going tight.
That's what he's trying to do, and that is way under hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right on the 50-yard line. That's not really what you want.
Yeah.
So, you got your choice here. I would tend towards shooting this in the corner myself.
Yeah, you've got to watch. This is well past the side pocket here for a thin cut into the side. You've got to get hold of the cue ball.
He's going to drag this, and
he's overcooked it.
And he missed it.
There you go. So there's the root of Larry's problem. At this stage in the tournament, with tables that are not really that complicated, he's not getting there. And
well, I mean, the position was just not good.
Yeah. By the way, so a very old VP3 name in the lobby the other day. Who was that then? Who was that you saw? Well, hurry up and tell us, for God's sake. You've got us all in tenterhooks. Oh, Gerhawk, he's been in now and again, very rarely. Very rarely. Not as rare as Romario, though. So, Bedhead into the lead. Larry's got to be counting these chances gone. He's got to be thinking, I should be really taking these tables out if I want to think my prospects are reasonable for surviving in this tournament. Right, well, let's have a look at the cut. Thin cut into the side, cue ball's running into the 7 and 8 and 3 and whatever else if he's doing that. He's going forward and trying to duck. And that'll work. In fact, the 6-ball's blocking the line off the short rail to get to that one. So it is.
Yeah.
I have to go 2 rails.
This is not really a very easy hit.
Well, you see, Baker Maker isn't a regular visitor here as well. That's the problem for him. You know, he doesn't regularly drop in, so he wouldn't be noticing anything in the chat. I don't think he's actually been here since the tournament sign-ups opened. So here we go again, Larry. Here's a table that, well, the difficult shot is getting good on the 2 to finish decent on the 3. So, and then from the 3 to the 4. So it's not, I mean, it's not an easy run out, but it's got to be well planned. And you see, they're talking about overhitting things and underhitting things. See, I think he's erring on underhitting too often here, Larry. I think he needs to tweak it up a bit. Because this has already made himself hard work here. Now that needs to miss the 8 ball or bump it, one of the two. And it's ended up good. And he's got an angle he can work with. To get down for this 4. Oh, again, needs to get the spin working a wee bit. Now he's got a problem. And he's got to come up the middle of the table and probably play the 5 into the same pocket.
Well, I mean, he could hit this easy and play it on the side.
Well, I think
I'm not a fan of doing that. I'm more like what you're talking about.
Well,
because you're rolling up the line that way.
Well, the reason I say that is because I don't think I would trust Larry. Well, he is trusting it. He's got the pace right this time.
Yeah, and that's an easier shot because you're rolling the cue ball pretty close to the line you want to be on. It's going across it a little, but if you're going to the side, it's a lot more. And since that was a speed-sensitive shot, that's a smart thing to do. Now, he is a little funny here because the angle isn't that conducive for this shot.
You get forward and get out. That's what you do. You can force it forward and spin it out. We feather the right. You don't need a lot. You just want to get around the corner. And that needs to slow up. Yeah.
That's well done. It's looking a lot like it's going to be 2-2. I think Larry's kind of falls in that category of one of these players that misses too many balls. If he can avoid missing balls, I think he's going to be very competitive in this match.
No, don't bother telling Yama about it. Keep him well away from it. In fact, the last time Yama was in the lobby, his account had expired anyway. So he sat there as a gratis player.
Well, Larry's doing it to it.
Well,
I kind of went on the thin side of the pocket there.
The thing about the Cowboy tournament, there's actually always a chance of a shock or two in it. There always is that chance in Cowboy of 1 or 2 shock results.
Well, that's a pretty good break. He didn't get a lot of love, but I think he's got a pretty good safety here. What's he doing? I don't like what I'm seeing him do. Is he trying to
get through the gap with the 8 and the 6 or what?
I don't like this. I would just go straight forward with the 1.
Oh, that's just not getting to a rail. See, there you go with the soft touch again, Larry. Now, when's he going to decide and give in and say, right, I'm not hitting these hard enough?
I would have gone straight forward with the run off of the rail and run the cue ball to the rail and let the 1 ball go 2 or 3 rails and use the 6 and the 8. I mean, it wasn't that hard. That shot he just tried was, I mean, obviously it was pretty speed sensitive, a lot more than taking a 1 ball around.
Well, It's when I saw Larry the other day, I thought he's going to end up hitting things a bit too soft, and we've already seen evidence of that tonight. And I think he needs to just move it up a notch.
I think it'd be a popular win if Larry won. I mean, I think all the players would be pretty happy for him, except for maybe Stubb. I don't think Stubbs ever that happy. Even if he won, he wouldn't be happy.
He's got his bump round the back. He didn't want to pinch too much though, but he can bump round the back. Oh, he did the old VP4 bailout. He didn't want to risk bumping it round behind the six. I think he had an angle to do it, but I think he was.
I don't think he wanted to come back quite that much.
Yeah.
But
well,
I mean, in real life, I would have drawn that ball too, because you got to start cheating the pocket going forward a little, or or blast it, and that can start asking for trouble. I would have backed that one up too, just not that far.
Yeah, he got to the 10-ball final against Vinces, didn't he? Yeah, which he was he was 3 up with 4 to play, I think, and he managed to lose that final. So
well, I'll tell you what, he puts a lot of pressure on himself when you talk that much crap. The funny thing is, people say, "Oh, well, you should be confident." The problem for most people is that what they think is confidence is just a positive attitude and saying, "Oh, I'm going to play great" or whatever. I mean, and the problem with that is that's just them saying it and them thinking that makes them confident, but it doesn't. Confidence is something you got to earn, and you can talk all the bravado you want, but you're not going to be confident unless you're really ready to play. And very few people I've ever met in my life were confident all the time. I've met a few. Hawaiian Brian was one of them. Keith McCready was one of them. I've met a few people like that they were always they knew that they were going to play good, and they always did. But the rest of the people, they're just talking with their mouth and not producing any kind of result. And Stubbs falls in the latter category.
Yeah, Stubbs found out how far out of his depth he is when he's up against these guys, and getting to the end of tournaments like this, he's found out how difficult it is.
Josh Filler's a pretty confident kid.
This has been his worst performance in any of these virtual world championships. He's Stubbs been long gone. So Bedhead's going to have that 2-rack comfort zone. But self-inflicted damage from Larry. I think he may well have adjusted his mouse. I hope he has. I think he needs to go up a notch or two.
Yeah, if you're going to make an adjustment now, it better be pretty minor. I mean, I can see you going up, a bump it a notch or two, but that's it, because you don't want to try to go back to where you were at this point, because you've already kind of sort of got used to it being a little softer hit.
Well, that's exactly it, Slim. A lot of players, there's a lot of players with a level that's good enough to match him and beat him. And Stubbs sort of he's wallowed at the same level. And all the time he's been in VP3 to VP4.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to get better. He was starting to play some safeties and be a little smarter in the 10-ball, but then his base nature showed back up, and he started blasting stuff.
Yeah, but when he was devoid of ideas, that's when he starts blasting. When he can't work out a way of doing things.
Watch this. Oh, what's he doing? No, this is wrong. He should be
Well,
putting right English on this. No, this is right English and just spin it over on top of the 8.
Yeah, I'm looking to see whether
He's putting check on it.
Yeah, he's checking it to use a 5 and 6, but look at the.
Yeah, but I would have put right English on it and really spun it up and let it come off the rail and go over there behind the 8.
Well, this is tricky. I'll tell you, it's tricky because Larry wants to come off the right side of the 1, presumably. The problem is the 6 ball. He wants to find a line to try and come back up here towards the 7, but I think the problem's the 6 ball.
No, he can get by the 6. He can get by the 6. I'm not sure he can get by the 6 and get it behind the 7. I think he's better off playing to use the 6 as a blocker.
Well, you see, again, he's way
just
short.
Yeah.
Way short. He's 2.5 feet short of where he wanted that cue ball.
Well, I understand that, Hairpig, but that's a shot that it's a shot you should practice because that shot's a weapon. It really is. Because that's what you're using. You're using the speed of the English to move it over because you have to hit that 1 ball pretty straight on. The cue ball is not going to have much speed. It would never move over without having a lot of spin on it.
Right, so you stun this in, you go up to the rail, if I can get my line to work, you put a bit of left English on it to come down that way to get somewhere there. I don't know I haven't looked right behind the 5 ball, but something along those lines, because it doesn't go past the 7, obviously. I don't think it does.
I guess what I'm trying to say here, Pig, is it's a soft hit. That shot comes up a lot. It's like when you're on the long rail and you want to take the cue ball down for, all the way down the table, but you can't hit the ball hard. If you spin it up, the cue ball will move a very long way without much speed on it.
I don't know that this was the best idea in the world. I think my idea was a better idea.
I think this is where you play safe.
Because he had all the room to go up and down with a wee bit of inside just to come down past the side pocket in the left of this 6 ball, where he's not interfering with the 7.
If you watch the pros play, this is like a 98, 99%. I'm not shooting, I'm playing safe. I'm sticking this on the 8 ball. I mean, you can make this. Well, the problem is you don't know where the cue ball is going.
No idea.
This is not a good idea.
You think it was too flat? That's why I didn't go directly behind it. But I had the general idea, but now he's got lucky. Well, when's Larry going to take the hint that he needs to readdress this sensitivity setting? If he doesn't do it sooner, he's going to be heading back in the distance here. Bedhead's going to be looking over his shoulder at him for a long period in this match. It's 5-2.
Larry's in trouble if he doesn't start winning some games here pretty quick.
Yeah, but the predominance of his problem is the weight of the shot. That's where the problem is. Not just the fact you're missing balls. Yeah. I mean, when you try to play a safe, you didn't get a ball to a rail.
I
basic
think you gotta
mistakes.
Push here. I don't like pushing down table unless he's pushing. Yeah, I don't like pushing down table here. I would push to just a different kick. And that's actually not bad. But the problem with the shot he shot, that rolls 2 inches further and then it's no good. I mean, where it is now, yeah, that's actually pretty good. But who's good enough to get it in that inch?
Bedhead's trying to spin. He's looking at the theory of spinning this 1 ball as a bank, but I don't think he can get enough of it to do it.
Yeah, I think you just thin the right edge and try to use the 4. I mean, it's doable, but not easy. And he got way too much 1 ball.
Well, Larry, here's a cut into the side, and if you just let the cue out, and now will he hit it hard enough so he can actually see the two? That's the thing I'm worried about.
Well, this is pretty easy to hit hard enough. He doesn't, you know, he's got a lot of angle on this one. It's going to keep the cue ball is going to keep a lot of speed.
Oh, he's looking at the cup
Well,
now.
I wouldn't play the bank because it's very natural to get it to come around 3 rails for the 2. With the bank, you're going to have to draw the ball back. Yep, there we go.
He's got the pace this time.
And
well, this is a must. This is a must, Larry.
Yeah, Larry's got him. Larry's got to get out here.
Do you remember what VP4? Not VP4. Do you remember what VP3 was like for adjusting the sensitivity of the mouse? I think it only had like 10 seconds. Is that right?
I don't know. I mean, we did a lot of work on it. I think, you know, I mean, speed is the hardest thing in real life too. But I do believe VP is more difficult in that area than real life. But on the other hand, I mean, it's easier to pocket balls, and guys end up playing position further from the object ball. Like in real life, you know, you want to be, you know, if you're really playing good, 18 to 24 inches from the object ball every time. I mean, it makes pool really easy. But I think it's hard to play that with VP. Albin, I've seen Albin do it, you know, when he's really playing well.
Well, that's a good shot.
Well, it's a good shot, but the cue ball is not good.
Yeah, he was terrible on that in the first place, so already he's got himself in bad shape here. And
if he wants, he can bank this. So the tricky thing is banking this at a speed that if you miss it, you got potential cover, and that's a little tricky to do and get a shot on the 6. I think he's just going to play safe off the left side of this 5, which is probably the smart thing.
Use the 7 and 8 here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is how much of the 5 ball you take is super critical, because that's going to determine the speed. You can affect the speed of the cue ball a lot with spin, but you can't with the 5 ball. So the 5 ball, the speed's going to primarily be the cut angle.
Well, what do? Do you sort of overhit this so that you bank the 5 and it comes back into the table in the line of the 7 and 8? No, he went for the bank.
Oh, yeah, he decides to shoot the bank, and I mean that was the way he had to shoot it, I think, because there wasn't an easy way to get the speed right for a 2-way shot, so he just went for it.
It was far too tight for a start, getting into that side pocket with the bank. Well, here's another one going south, Larry.
Inside of the pocket. I mean, if you watch guys shoot and they go center pocket a lot, I'll never forget Ernesto Dominguez. So I'm talking to Ernesto, and this was a long time ago. And there's a Jack Cooney was in town. And I asked him, I said, Ernesto, why don't you ever play Jack? And he says, center pocket all the time. I'm like, oh. Jack Cooney, probably the greatest gambler of all time on the pool table.
Yeah, well, this is not going to be much of a match, Larry, if you don't get yourself sorted out. Mechanical wise, I mean.
Well, I mean, you got to applaud the guy for, you know, trying some things, but you got to wonder if now was the right time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would go back to what I was working with and then try and work that out after the match is over, provided I got myself through it. But he ain't going to get through it with the setup he's got right now, unless he really kicks into gear.
So he's like a finger flicker or something. I mean, these little track balls are more like track marbles, right? It's just a little ball you flick with your finger.
No, it's bigger than that.
Oh, it's a big one. Is it like the size of a snooker ball?
Not quite as big as that. But
Yeah, so it's still pretty
doesn't
small.
matter what size they are. They're crap, Steve. That's it in a nutshell. They don't give you the control you need in this game. Nobody's ever going to convince me otherwise. You know, don't get me wrong. If Larry's still using one, he's not bad with it, but he's not as good as he could be without one. Put it that way. If he was using an ordinary mouse, a cheap mouse, I guarantee he'd be far more reliable than what he is right now. But he won't listen.
Let's see, he's going to stop this or back it up?
Yeah, I think he needs to make a good choice here because he's going to be nailed to the rail.
Yeah, this is fine though. I mean,
oh, going to get out past this 8-ball.
Yeah, you got a choice of stunning it or putting a little English. He's going to stun it. Oh, well, I didn't think he was going to take that route.
Yeah, I don't believe that that's the route he wanted to take, Steve. I think he wanted to get that come out. We actually had the spin on it.
Well, this is kind of crappy because it's hard to avoid hitting the 6-ball. And he's thin enough that if you wanted to hit the 6-ball more full, it's going to be hard to. Yeah, and that's why he ended up where he is, because being on the 4-ball that way, this is not the shot anybody really loves.
Right, get the cut going. Now, if you hit it and you go that way and you come that way and you come that way, you're ending up on top of the 6 going that way, but you've not really got a great deal of choice, I don't think.
Well, you can draw this. You can draw and spin it.
Yeah, you see, he's held it above the 8. Is he going to be hooked though? Is he going to be hooked? Yeah.
My tendency in that situation would be to draw it so it goes straight across with a lot of right English and then spins back up above the other side pocket. You go straight across and hit between the first diamond and the side pocket with right English, and then it spins back up.
There is a reasonable chance this could get kicked in this 6-ball, and that would really hurt Larry. Oh, goodness me. How close was that?
Wrong one went in.
Yeah.
Good attempt. Yeah, and that all started with the 3-ball when, he jacked up way too much and then got in a funny spot on the 4, and it was really hard to do a lot from there. I mean, I think he almost would have had to hit that thing with top and the right and kind of hit the 6, hit the long rail, hit the end rail, and came kind of straight down. I mean, and that's a hard shot because that's very difficult to judge in that situation. That's the kind of shot Efren would shoot it like it's nothing, but the rest of us mortals.
Well, this is where you need a 2 or 3 rack run here, Larry. Sorry, not Larry. It was Bedhead at the table. Goodness me, I thought it was Larry who was back at the table.
Oh no, Bedhead's up by already. 5 now. I mean, this is turning into an ass whooping.
I have definitely lost the plot already.
It's going to be a dry break. Let's see what Larry comes up with here.
Well, you use the 8-ball. You come out behind out between the 3 and the 9, and you make sure the lines bring you down towards the 4 and the 7.
I think you just bank the 1 straight down table, and the cue ball goes slightly to the other side of the 3, and you got the 2-5 there. And if you lose it, you still got the 9.
No, I like my idea better. In fact, Larry doesn't like it.
Larry likes shooting.
He's just going all out again.
And you know what? That's a good shot. He hit it good. He's a little funny here. Now the biggest problem here is you're gonna hit the long rail then the 8-ball, and I don't think trying to draw this is going to help you. I think you're going to have to accept the fact you're running the 8 and have to try to figure out how to come up with a shot. Well, and that's the problem with that is that
from bad to worse.
Well, you can play safe here. This is a pretty easy safety. For that matter, you can almost shoot the 9. It's not quite lined up.
Well, to me, it had a pretty easy safety when he came to the table and he didn't take it. If he took the easy safety, he wouldn't be in this position.
Well, I can't imagine, you know, I would just slide this over on top of the 8-ball. You know, this is a little soft draw. You jack up on this a little bit. You want to jack up on this just a touch. He's not going to jack up on it. In real life, you would. At VP, you don't have to. You know you're not going to ever double hit it. So that's pretty good.
Well,
you really didn't want it in front of the side pocket. But
yeah, it's still quite a big target, though, isn't it? I mean, you can kick behind it, you can hit it direct, so it's a big margin of error here, and as you say, it might even go in.
Yeah, I mean, it's this kind of kick, you know, short to the rail and long is harder visually for most people.
Going past it.
Yeah, that kind of kick's a little bit tricky to get the line.
This 4-ball's this 4-ball's going to be. He has to decide what he's going to do here. Is he going to come out and just leave the bank? I think the safest route's the bank, because you've got to get into that tight spot to make the cut.
I wouldn't bank it. I wouldn't bank it. I would just.
You think he's going to try and bump the 7?
No, you don't have to bump the 7. You just put right English on it and shoot the 5-ball down by the corner where the 9 is. This is just right English and just right English, and he's going to bank it.
Yeah. Bank always looked easier to me.
Yeah, well, but that's no good with a cue ball.
Everything's going to be hard work for Larry. You can tell it's going to be hard.
That's the problem with hitting that hard. You just hit that hard and very straight. You cut it, it's not going to hit the 7. Yeah, and this is a kind of a must-make shot at this point. And he's got it, and he's still not good. He's okay. This isn't bad. So this is the same exact shot I was talking about before. You put draw and right English on it.
To check
you bring it across the other rail. You draw it, you know, you'll draw it not straight across. You'll draw it up. You don't have to draw it a lot. You're going to put a lot of English on it. It's going to catch and go up table. Sort of like that.
It bounces. It needs to get off the rail, though. It needs to get off the rail.
Yeah. Didn't really want to be on the rail, so he'll have to stun this across.
Well, I don't
probably
think
stun draw it.
I don't think he risks doing anything unless he's going to start.
Yeah, he'll just roll it. It's VP. Even in real life, I'd probably just roll this one.
Yeah, he is going to. He is going to try and get up there. He's going to try and get up there. I don't know whether that's worth the effort. He might as well have left it where it was.
he could have just rolled it.
In fact, he's worse if he'd let it roll to the rail. At least about a better cut angle than the big bedhead cut.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is this kind of shot in real life, those cuts, thin cuts, they're really easy when you're hitting them good, and they're really hard when you're not hitting them good.
All night.
Because timing is everything on those shots. Well, Larry managed to get the win here, and that was fortunate for him.
Two ball.
And is he going to have a shot? It's not looking good.
Right, now, I'm pushing out up past that 5-ball up into the top left-hand corner. That's where I'm going. Because that's leaving a dodgy cut as bait.
Now, the only problem with that cut is it's very possible to get on the 3-ball. And if you overcut it, then you're probably safe. The biggest issue is running into the 5-ball. Well, he's going to put it behind the 4.
He's going to leave him a shot. Well, I mean, he's leaving him a better shot than I would have left him.
Actually, this shot is.
I mean, okay, he's not really going to get to the 3 great deal unless he jacks up and digs in big time and avoids the 8.
Well, you don't have to jack up to avoid it much, but you have to hit it hard.
Can he stun past it?
You can go forward past this, but you have to hit it pretty hard, and speed could be an issue.
Well,
this is a shot you want to loop it around the 8. Now he's going to try to go 3 rails, I think. What's he doing? Oh, he is trying to stun it over.
Oh, even plenty of room.
Oh, he hit that really well.
Perfect.
He didn't play the loopy. He just kind of did a semi-stun shot. That was a very strong shot.
Looked as if he was always going to take something of that 8-ball, but
well, he made
about it.
He made that look easy. That's sort of like
Yeah.
almost like a little stun
But
run where it
you know,
just
then
kind of
again,
moves sideways and then goes forward.
you know,
That was a sweet little shot.
hindsight is a great thing. If Larry'd only listened to me and put it into the far left-hand corner pocket of the table, then he would have left it much more difficult. I don't think Bedhead would
Yeah.
have been so keen to take the pot on then, in my opinion. Oh,
Well, I
hang
would
on a
have
minute.
shot that shot, the back cut. I would have shot that shot every time because all you had to do, it was going to go around the 9. You just had to avoid the 5 ball. And if you overcut it, there's a pretty good chance you're safe.
But it still gets marked down as a poor push out because he's ended up losing the rack because of it. And you know, you shouldn't really
Yeah.
be losing the rack because of a bad push out unless you know you're stuck back in and
Well,
you don't get it safe. But it's just
actually, where it ended up, I don't know that it was terrible, but Bedhead had to hit a good shot to get there. But I'm sure he wasn't trying to come up there because he almost hooked it with a 4. I think he rolled
yeah,
way too far. I think he was trying to leave the back cut
he
and just hit it too hard.
overhit it. Yeah, so
We're just not used to seeing him overhit balls because with
overhit
this
and
new track
underhit.
ball, it's been under.
Yeah, overhit and underhit. So again, it's not trustworthy. It's not reliable. It's not consistent.
He probably took his hand and had a flying start from 2 feet away.
Well,
Did you like the sound effect there?
There's a major crisis on here. It doesn't matter how you look at it. 8-3 is a crisis.
Yeah, and ball's down, and he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, this is not looking good for old Larry here. This table's pretty damn good for Bedhead. I think.
Well, he'll be able to get out clean off the 3. Just needs
This
to
is
get up high enough. Well, wait a minute.
Boy, he's barely high enough. He's okay.
Yeah.
Gonna have to spin this one.
No.
But yeah, you're not gonna get a much better table than this. So you
to,
want to leave angle on this 5 ball.
Yeah, you've got to spin it into the 7, haven't you? That's really the target you're trying to get to. I think I'll just stop high enough.
You don't have to. Just stay high and then just good speed. I mean, you want to run. You can run straight down from the 5. Just keep the ball rolling straight down table, and it's all speed. The thing is when you're rolling a ball like this, it's really easy to get good speed.
Yeah, he's short.
And that's mediocre speed. Yeah, he's still probably okay. That's, yeah. He's hitting it with left English, so it's going to check a little. And he hit it like he was hitting it with center ball. That's not a problem.
She's just getting it. Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect because he can roll forward and the cue ball is going to be off the rail, and it's easy to get straight in on the 8. And this is ideal.
This guy's a lunatic, by the way.
Which guy's a lunatic?
The guy in the chat. That's I don't know what the hell he's on. Anyway.
Well, he was smart enough to leave before he got muted, but what he doesn't realize is that in the lobby. Oh, so the guy comes in here and spams. That might be a stub alter ego.
No, there's no way that's stub. He can't come up with dialogue like that, Steve, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
That's never stub.
Contraband is too many syllables for him.
Yeah.
What are hippies? Well, I'll tell you a funny story about that. So when I was a kid, I was on a show called Art Linkletter, and it's the Americans will know this show. Larry would know this show. It's a show where they get kids on and they ask them questions and talk to them and stuff. And kids are kind of young and innocent and they say funny stuff. So one of the kids on there, Art asks him, "Do you know the definition of a hypocrite?" And the kid says, "Nah." He says, "I don't." And Art says, "Well, take a guess. What do you think a hypocrite is?" And he says, "Somebody that doesn't like hippies." That was a great answer. And of course, the audience is laughing like crazy, and the kid's like, "Why are they laughing?" It's funny. I got to get that. You could go to the
Is that on video, Steve?
Well, you have to buy it from them. I mean, this was back, let's see, this was in
Early 60s.
This was like 1967, probably 1966. Yeah, that was a long time ago. But you could buy stuff from them. You could pay them to make you a copy out of the archives.
I'm sure that you can get things a lot simpler than that. I'm sure you can troll the internet and find something like that.
Oh no, nobody has that stuff. Unless somebody paid to get a copy, nobody would have it.
Oh, I'm sure it's out there.
The only ones are going to be ones that people paid to get. Matter of fact, I'll search it right now.
Oh, Larry's in trouble again.
Okay, so it started in 1963. Oh no. Now this says Art Linkletter Show TV Series 63, but this says TV Series 52 to 70, and they're both IMDb. So which one's right?
Well, Larry got the hit and got a roll. Bedhead's got a hit, and let's just say he's not left anything easy. And this six ball could get in the way.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 videos posted on YouTube from Art Linkletter, and I guarantee you these were from people had bought it from the archives, paid who was NBC or whoever to produce them. There's only 5 of them. And I don't think that's going to be the 5 I was on. I mean, this was a show. So this was a show that ran for, well, if you believe the one IMDb thing, 18 years, and there's only 5 clips on YouTube. So tell me how you're going to find it, Hugh.
Well, because you're not dealing with the right people, Steve. There'll be corrupt people out there who'll be able to get you whatever you want.
It's in a vault someplace in Los Angeles, and you're going to have to pay them to take it out and make a copy.
Right, this is too
I know
straight.
you all want to see me when I was like
well,
8 years old.
I just imagine you, somebody at 9 years old, 6'4", big long lanky legs and a pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
Well, I was taller than most kids, but I wasn't 6'4".
Like Robert Wadlow, 4 foot above everybody else, the same age as you.
I was always one
Watch
of the
the cue ball here. Watch the cue ball.
No. Oh my God. That was fortunate.
Well,
if
you're going to get yourself in a bad shape, this is it.
It's going to be a cut on the 8 ball, unless he's going to spin this up. No. Now, you can go rail first into this. You could rail first. No. He's not going to.
No.
He's taking the cut shot.
Big bedhead cut from distance required.
Actually, this isn't that hard a cut. The 8 ball's quite a ways off the rail. I mean, this isn't that bad a shot.
View for T Justice.
Oh, this is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Same corner.
Right down
nice
the
shot
barrel.
there. Well, Larry's going to get to within 5 again. Problem is he's running out of games.
Oh, Cobra prefers the Joel cut. I got a laugh out of Cobra the first time I said it, the Joel cut.
Is that Joel or is that Joel?
Well, it's Joel. Joel, Bedhead, brackets Bedhead from Sweden.
Joel. Yeah, you can't even try to pronounce people's names correctly now because.
One ball. Oh, I thought the second ball just to push it over the edge.
Now that's a shame there. That is a real shame. It couldn't get much closer. I mean, these shells aren't that deep on this table.
Well, what's a bigger shame
At
is
least not
that
on the side pockets.
if he gets on this too, he's out.
Yeah, well, unless you've just commentator cursed him, he should be out.
Well, he's checking this up to come back down between the 4 and 7 line.
Yeah, that's well done. Jolene. That's a pretty famous song. Jolene.
Hi, Dolly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she wrote it. I believe she sang it. I don't know if she I think she might have wrote it.
It's probably one of very few that she didn't write. I think she wrote hundreds and hundreds of songs, Dolly Parton.
It's amazing when you really look at who wrote a lot of songs. There's some people that were artists also, but you know, you look at the songs that they wrote, it's like what's that one folk singer? I don't remember what the heck her name was, but she wrote. You look at her history, hundreds of songs that other artists recorded, even though she was successful on her own. It's pretty amazing. Some of them are prolific.
The Bee Gees did that as well. They wrote a lot of songs for people. The Beatles wrote songs for people. Quite a lot of them. Diana Ross had a hit from the Beatles. Not from the Beatles, from the Bee Gees. Diana Ross. What's her name? What do you call her? Barbara Streisand, you know. Carole King, are you talking about, Steve?
Yeah, I think it was Carole King. That was, you know, a good artist in her own, but I think she wrote just crap loads of stuff for other people.
Of course, Neil Diamond, he wrote songs that other folk, you know, had the hits with.
Oh, yeah. I believe that, Slim.
Double figures now for Bedhead.
Yeah, perfect. That was it. It was Carole King. I looked one day and it was like he had so many hit songs that other people recorded. Better than all the rest. Well, this is an interesting situation here. He's going to push and leave an edge, and I'd be shooting at this, I think. Trying to bring the cue ball down table, use the 3, try to run the cue ball into the 8. There's some risk at this because you can sell out. He may give it back. He did. If you're brave enough to hit this thing and go back and forth, but that's, you know, you got to be short of the 4 ball. And that's a little tricky here because the English is going to open this 1 up. I think it's easier to try to run at the 8 ball. And he didn't open it up enough. He hit a little thin. Well, that's, well, there's no guarantee he can make this combo or pocket the 1.
Well, he's got half a pocket for the 1, and the combo's never perfect because that's easily going to bump and stay out the pocket, that 4 ball. Yeah,
I mean, this is one of those situations where you're like, I wish I had a good safety to play. I mean, there's some safeties, but none of them are all that good. This is one of those situations on pool where you got to pick something that you don't particularly like.
Yeah, there's not an awful lot of room for manoeuvre up that end of the table there.
Nope. I mean, I think he's got to try to cut it past the 4. What he tried.
Well, I think he'll settle for that.
I think that was a good play because, you know, if you overcut it, you got the 6 and the 4, so... And this has got to be a two rail kick here. This is no.
Well, I don't think it's going to be so much of a kick as a roll up dead on top of it.
No. I would kick this, and the reason why is
because he's going to be locked up if he just plays it soft, doesn't he?
you're probably gonna get the double kiss. If it was a little further off the rail, I kick this, but I think I agree with you. It's gonna have to be a soft one. It's too close to the rail.
Yeah, he's just gonna let it roll it dead onto it. Now this is easy to come off the edge and duck up table. Oh, or is it? Maybe not.
Oh,
No, it isn't.
I don't know about that. I
Oh
think
no,
this
it
is gonna
isn't.
hit the titty.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
that was
It's not until you get down and
okay.
look at it, you thought, nope, ain't happening.
So now the trick is you got to thin this with a lot of left English and try to miss the 6 ball. This is a little tricky.
Oh, I don't think he's getting out of there, is he? That's very thin.
It's very tough to get out of there, and he didn't. But
Well,
you know, he's fine.
Well, this is much better now
Except
for
the
Larry.
fact that he's going to get locked up here.
Yeah, this is much better. Nice and thin.
Oh, he didn't hit it. He didn't hit it.
He hit it far too thick for a start.
Yeah, well, that's no good because he can kick 2 rails behind it and potentially get a good lockup too.
I don't know. He can't see enough of this to stall the cue ball. He's trying to check it and hold behind it. Well, I don't think he's got there though. No.
That was as good as he was going to be able to do. I would have kicked 2 rails behind it. I mean, could he get locked on the 8? Maybe, and that's no good. Wow, these guys are playing a lot of safeties, and a lot of them aren't very good.
No, they ain't good at all. Well, the Bedhead's not going to refuse this.
Yeah, he's a shooter. And if he makes this, it's probably going to be 11-4.
Well, he's going to watch the cue ball because if he goes the 2 rails, he's either going to bump the 6 or hook himself behind the 6.
No,
he trying to go above.
No, he just comes.
Yeah, he's going above. He's going above. Well, there's work still to do.
Yeah, he's funny. He's probably going to try to bump the 6. No, he's not. He's doing something else. He's going to try to go between the 4 and 6. Which is a kind of a nice little shot, actually. The tendency is to hit the 4 on this, and he doesn't. Oh, he hit that really good.
It nice.
Yeah, the tendency is to lose the cue ball forward when you're shooting inside like that, and that kind of shot. Well, this is going to be a good one here. He's sitting in a good spot. I think he's out.
Well, I would have liked to have been up a wee bit higher.
Yep. You don't want to be in a spot where you can run into the 8 ball, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. So now he's going to have to draw this. You got to purposely avoid this 8 ball, I think. He's going high. He thinks he can miss it.
Oh, he missed it by
I guess that speedy was no problem.
Slightly hampered here. This makes the shot more difficult.
Slightly in the laundry hamper.
Well, I think we're clutching at straws here to find where Larry's going to get another opportunity in this rack, and this will be it. This is a possibility, but unlikely.
Larry better get out the rosary beads if he wants to win this match.
Watch the cue ball. I think he's fine, though. No, he isn't. It's gone. Well, there you go, Larry.
It just kept going and going.
Oh, dear. Well, there's a lifeline, Larry, if ever you handed one.
Wow, that was brutal.
Welcome to Mooncake.
Mooncake's here.
Well, you're just in time to see the sensational Larry comeback here.
That was brutal.
This is the start of it.
He hit that ball good, just a little bit too much juice on it.
Well, back to within 4. 5, sorry, I can't count now at this stage of the evening. So it's a long road in. Well, Mooncake's saying that he didn't adjust. No, he's been under-hitting things generally too soft. Made a couple of howlers early on.
That's right, Robert. It's just a 6-pack. That's all he needs. Well,
now,
plus 2 more.
What's he doing here? Just had Hugh lightning strike scared the shit out of me. I think he meant a huge lightning strike. I don't think he meant me. what he's saying in the chat. So Larry might be coming up with the old Control Alt Delete thunderstorm disconnect excuse.
Oh, he lost his bottle. So now we're talking about the bottle again.
I love it.
You should have never told those guys about the bottle, because
Yeah.
now we're never going to hear the end of it. And he's got no shot. So let's see what he decides to push out to.
Right, let's have a look.
This is a brutal situation here. You got to push out to an edge or a jump shot, or
I'm pushing
kick.
right up there to that point there on that diamond there. That's what I'm pushing to, right up there.
I don't see what the diamond you're talking about.
Well, look at the line on the screen if you've got the...
Yeah, I like that. Leave him an edge.
Yeah,
that's
just
what I
stick
like.
them up there. You're going to get put back in probably, but that's where I'm putting them.
Yeah, I like that. You can't leave him with the ball. You got to leave him an edge, because that's tough. And
well, that's...
leave him too much ball. That's not bad.
Let's see what it looks like from this end.
This is a hard ball to shoot at, and it's definitely not an easy safe.
Well,
he's got almost enough ball to play safe here, but I think the scratch is on.
There's encouragement to bank it back up the
table. He did have enough.
Yeah, you've got to miss the 3, and you've got to get the cue ball behind the 4, and he hasn't.
Well, he had enough there. I didn't think he could see that much, but he had enough. I think he just didn't hit it hard enough. That's all. Well, that's a shame, because that was a nice play. So this is no gimme either. And if you're going to play safe here, you got to watch the double kiss, unless you're going 2 rails around the 9.
Well, this is the bank back up the middle of the table again, past the 3, isn't it? And bring the cue ball back.
Well,
across.
And you got to avoid the kiss here.
Yeah. That's good pace as far as the 1 ball is concerned.
And that's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, the little brush in the 6 is.
The little.
Well. Yeah. There's not a lot there for him.
No, this is tough. I probably would shoot this, because you're going to run to the 6. It's just going to die. I'd probably be a shooter here. I'd try to cut this in. I mean, there's no easy 2-rail kick behind it. He's going to just try to play safe, and that was rough.
By the way,
you don't really want to play safe like this, because this is how you end up getting locked up.
That's the longest sentence that Larry's ever written in a tournament match in all the history of virtual pool. He's never typed anything more than 3 words.
And there's the trackball sensitivity again, because that's just no good. I mean, Larry had him in a good spot. I probably would have tried to put him on the 6 myself.
Well, he's going to have him.
That's a smart play.
Now, how does Larry get to that 1 ball? That's the question I'm asking.
You kick straight across. You just got to put right English on it, little draw on right English, and just, hit just right next to the side pocket, and it's gonna curve back around. The 3 ball's not in play. It'll curve. Maybe even a little short of that. I think a little short of the side pocket. You definitely can kick this in.
How's he getting there? Yeah. I can't see how he's getting there.
Yeah, that way. Because it's going to curve around the 3 if he hits there.
Well, it's going to have to boomerang around the 3 the way it's that's lined up.
You got to put draw and right English on it to do it. He tried to squeak by the 5, and that didn't work.
That was ever on. Well, Larry's comeback hasn't started.
Safety isn't adequate. Well, I mean, I didn't think he could play that safe, and he was able to. I mean, if you could get the full ball, you could play it, and then he just didn't hit it. It was really a shame. He played a good shot, except for the speed.
Well, I think it's just about going through the motions here to get this match done now, because I think the likelihood of a Larry comeback's far away in the distance.
But I do think executing good safeties is a little harder in VP than real life. It is for me, anyways.
That's 2 straight, so you're just going to have to come nip back off of this and leave the cut or leave the long run in the 7-up table. Yeah, long run.
Yeah, this is going to be 11-5, and it's going to be Bedhead needs 2, and Larry needs
a miracle.
8.
And he also needs to go back to the drawing board as far as this sensitivity setup goes, because that ain't working. That's a bit short, so now he's having to avoid the 9-ball.
Yeah, but this is like hard to mess this up.
Oh,
and he did.
Well,
he did. Oh my God!
There's a perfect commentator curse there if ever you've seen it.
Wow,
that is top draw. That, Steve. I'll give you credit for
that. That must have been belly button Lynn on the mouse, because you got the whole table.
And you've got the bank.
You got the whole length of the table. You can come off the end rail.
You got the bank just to save your bacon there.
Oh man. I think he's just teasing Larry. That's all. That was just a tease there.
That was a howler, that, from Bedhead. Well, he's on the hill. Well, he's not on the hill yet. I'm jumping ahead of the game here. I thought he was in 12.
Well, he might as well just bank this one too. I mean, why not?
Well, he's wide open in the 3, so there's no reason why he shouldn't.
You can just roll this one. Let the cue ball come out off the rail.
Yeah.
This is a shot you got to cut a little more than you think.
No point.
And see that? That's why. Because you got to cut this shot a little more than you think, because the 1 ball is so close to the rail, it's going to shorten up right away. It doesn't get a chance to get rolling, so you got to cut that ball more.
You know what Stubb would be doing here? Stubb would have been blasting that one onto the 9.
Oh, yeah.
And
but I'll tell you, there's one reason why you want to do that kind of shot. So if you're in the pool room and you want action, that's the kind of shot you want to take. And the reason why is anybody that you're playing, especially if you're giving them weight, they're going to quit you if you control the table and they don't get a lot of chances. They don't get to the table. So you want to shoot those kind of shots, because that's how you keep them in action. In other words, by doing dumb things.
Mm-hmm. Well, might be an edge. Yeah, there's an edge. Now, this is a touchy little. This is a test of the speed, because he wants to keep the one behind the 6 and 8 and just send the cue ball around the other side. And that's well played.
That's very well played. Well, you got the speed right on that one here.
Well, getting it right once during the whole night, Steve, no good.
This 8 ball's close to dead. Close to dead. I don't. 1 into the 6 and off the 1 into the 6 and then the 8, and didn't hit the 1.
So, ball in hand for Larry. Consolation rack, but it's going to be hard enough to get this 1 ball, by the way. Look at where the 1's sitting. Where's he going to pot it?
Well, you can always go. You can pot it down past the 5 in the corner. Because he looks like he's gonna potentially play for the 3 foul, although that's not really that good.
What's Slim talking about? 10 ball looks super tough. You're bloody right, it looks tough, because he ain't won the table.
Slim's got a unique way of looking at the world.
I think he's on the same kind of chemicals that
he's the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that would be fun to go have a beer with. I can tell already.
Well, good hit. Now, if this just stops rolling, it might be too awkward to cut. I think it is. He's going to cut into the side. Yep, he can brush past that, and he's got to hit this controlled so he can just get out onto the 3.
How about not that controlled?
Yeah,
if he did get out there, he's okay.
Well,
wow.
Big stun in and round behind the back of the 8 here. I think he's got to hit this though. Got to hit it.
Most people would have come out for the 3 on the side. If he was trying that, he just the trackball thing got him again. He's not drawing this hardly at all. I would draw this a little more than he's drawing it.
He's got to get into it and get the stun working here.
Okay, there goes the draw. Now, I wouldn't draw it this much.
That'll do.
But he's okay.
And he's got a nice little angle. See, that little angle makes your life a lot easier. So it does, because it means you can generate that better control with the cue ball here. Little stun up the middle of the table.
I would have tried to stay high on it just because that's easier not to get straight in, and it's simple straight down the table.
Well, Larry's now looking around to see where he can get himself in trouble. And
he's got away with words.
He's just gone the wrong side of the 6.
In other words, what you're trying to say is Larry's trying to figure out how to F this up.
Yeah, he's looking around at the 6 when he knows where the 6 ball was, and he got himself just slightly the wrong side, so now he's having to go up country here. But he should be. I mean, this is fine. This is never a problem.
Is he going to the Highlands of Scotland, up in, what do they call it, the Moors or whatever the hell is it, way up north? Is that what they call that?
No, they call it the Highlands.
Is it just the Highlands or the Moors down south? What are the Moors?
The sort of famous moors are down in the southwest of England. You know, Dartmoor and.
No, not moors. Moors, like where there's more.
What the hell are you talking about, Steve? What language are you talking about? I mean,
the language is called confuse you.
Moor? What the hell is it? Well, there's Anach Moor. That's the name of a mountain on the eastern side of Scotland. Anach Moor. It's actually, just for a bit of your information, it's actually the second highest. Well, we do class them as mountains in Scotland.
Second highest peak, so it's 40 feet high.
No, Anach Moor is 4,000 feet above sea level. Ben Nevis is 4,400 feet above sea level. But Anach Moor is over in the Grampian part of Scotland. Yeah, there's the Yorkshire Moors, the Mary Tyler Moors.
Well, what's he doing here? I think he thinks he can see the edge of this. I think he can, but I'm not sure how he's going to play safe off of this.
Well, I'll tell you something, he's got good eyes if he thinks he can see the edge of that one.
I think he can, but I don't see how he's going to hit this without selling out,
yeah, because he's just going to bring it into play, and the cue ball's going around the other side to set it up on the one.
I mean, maybe he's going to try to hit it hard. I mean, but the cue ball is going to come back and hit, well, potentially hit the one. There's a double kiss. Now he's doing some crazy jack-up bullshit. This is fraught with a sellout.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
well, I
that
suppose
was about like a 1 in 10 chance of not selling out.
Larry's got to have a look round where this cue ball's got to stop. And the cue ball has to stop right there. What's the angle like? Now the cue ball wants to leak away because he's inside.
He's fine. It'll leak just very slight, little soft draw, just like that. See, it didn't even leak enough.
He's fine. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Amore. Yes, he really loved singing that. He really loved singing that song, by the way. So he did. Hugh, are you able to pronounce this? Of course I am able to pronounce it. I don't even need to go and look that up. It's Llanfarpol Gwyngyth Gogereth Landrobith Lantysilio Gogoch. There you go. Longest place name in the UK.
Did you get any on you? Or is you're trying to get the phlegm out of your throat? What's going on?
That's the longest place name in the UK. It's not the longest place name in the world. The longest place name in the world is in New Zealand. You can go and Google that. You will find it. It's the longest place name. It's in Maori. It's in Maori, of course. Yeah.
Well, you know the longest fish name, right?
Now this is a joke, isn't it, Steve?
No.
Right, go on. Tell us, what's the longest fish name?
I gotta look up how to spell it.
What the hell are you Googling it now?
Hamo nu kunu
it's a Maori.
Apiua.
Yeah, it's a Maori. All it is a Maori name for a fish.
No, it's the official state fish of Hawaii.
Oh well, that's still the same thing. Maori and Hawaiian very similar.
Humu nuku apua. That's how you say it.
Welsh is the most beautiful language. You know, I think that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, I know.
Well, can you pot this one straight in? I think you can. Bedhead.
Yeah, well, you know,
for the match. Is it the 1-9 combo? That is he going to be that crazy? No, the 1-9 combo is
I don't
hardly
think
on.
so.
No.
He's running out. I mean, I went to Europe. I can pronounce anybody's name. First thing I get to Amsterdam, and the guy picking me up, his name's Garrett, Gerrit, and I say, "Hello, Garrett," and he says, "My name is Garrett." You know, like he's hawking up a loogie when he says it. I'm like, what?
Well, Irish must be worse than that. I mean, you've got Siobhan. I mean, if you look at Siobhan written down in paper, and you think, how do I pronounce that? Siobhan and all of this stuff.
Saban? Oh yeah. Well, it's beautiful until they start talking Gaelic. Then
Yeah.
forget it.
Well, Larry's on a survival trip now. The bank, all or nothing shop for Larry here.
Yeah, this is what do you call this, Hugh? Last chance saloon?
Well, he was in Last Chance Saloon 3 racks ago.
Uh-oh.
Hold on a minute.
Uh-oh. He's hooked.
Yeah.
I think he can cut it in the right corner.
Well, that's all
cut
he's
it
getting.
to the right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
unbelievable.
Good luck to you getting this, Larry. This will be some shot, I'll tell you.
Well, you know, even if he loses it, if he can pull this off, it'll amuse the fans. I mean, we're at the entertainment stage here. I'm rooting for him to make it.
This will be a shot of the night, this, Larry.
The surprising thing is how many people he hit it pretty good, but not good enough. How many people said Larry was going to win?
Yeah. Well, they always live in hope, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, Larry, he gets to a point in these tournaments where, in the early stages of the tournament, Larry can get away with the fact that he does put in these unforced errors more than the top guys are doing. And then when he gets to this stage in the tournament and he survived this far, he then finds out pretty quickly that those unforced errors and stuff catch up on you very quickly against players like Bedhead. They're just going to take the match away from you at the end of the day.
Larry's no dummy. I'm sure he realizes that,
Of course.
That's the issue, is unforced errors, and it's just not that easy to get
many
rid
of them. Just too many of them.
Yeah,
this ain't cut and dried yet, but it does go. I mean, he's fine. Yeah, plenty of room. So Bedhead marches on.
Bedhead is the winner, and
well, it's now a matchup with Spectre Dawn. We'll see this refresh in a wee second here.
Well, Bedhead played a solid match. I think he's going to have to play a little better than that against Spectre, but I thought Bedhead played a pretty solid match.
Yep, solid enough to win, but he will have to be on his game up against Spectre Dawn. So he will. And, of course, Bedhead, from the other point of view, is just one of these other big threats that could prevent Spectre Dawn going on to maybe win his first major tournament.
It's another one of these matches where Bedhead definitely plays safe better than Spectre Dawn does. Spectre Dawn runs out better. It's going to be one of these matches to see, whose strength wins out. I think if Bedhead plays well, he's definitely got a good chance of winning.
I don't know that this is going to be overwhelmingly good. This stats thing. Let's have a quick look at this.
I think they're both. The break was okay, not great. I think they're going to be at least in the 50s, maybe in the 60s.
Larry had 6 breaks, and he was averaging actually one a rack, so he was.
Yeah, so one in the 50s, one in the 60s, and that's 54 is a little low. 67 is that's kind of average.
And racks high run, well, nothing at all. 3 racks run from Bedhead. So, I mean, let's be honest. Those stats from both of those guys aren't going to win you this tournament.
No.
In that match. So they both have a lot of room. Well, Larry, of course, has lots of room for improvement for the Cowboy.
Larry's going fishing.
Yeah, he can get his mouse dialed in for the Cowboy. Bedhead has to get sorted out for his next match because that's going to be a lot tougher.
I don't think I made that proclamation, Slim.
What was that?
Money for a Hyrax run.
Well,
Probably because I didn't think about it.
it's a bit late now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's still there? It was you, Slim, wasn't it? And then was Albanario
Oh,
or
was it
somebody else
Slim?
tie it?
Slim, did you have the
Yes,
Hyrax run?
Slim's got it. I think he's still got it. Let's have a look. I'm pretty
Damn it,
certain.
I hate when that happens. Right when I get the Hyrax run, they don't offer money. Damn it.
Out the way, right. Let's have a look. 9-ball. Run outs from the break. 9-ball stats.
Well, hey, Larry, valiant effort.
There you
Didn't go
go.
your way. You're not going to want to listen to the match and hear Hugh talk about your trackball the whole time and your mouse settings.
Yeah, you need to change them, Larry, because you're way out of sync with that. You need to up the sensitivity a notch again, or better still, bin the mouse.
Yeah, trust me, Larry. Just skip watching the video.
Slim and Bedhead are both on 5 racks high run. So the only people that can change that now are actually Bedhead, Albanario, Cobra's in 4, Matt's in 3, and Spectre Dawn's down there in 2. So they're not
38 and 47. Go to the break stats. I want to see how many breaks that Bedhead has had because he's looking pretty strong.
Bedhead's had 86 breaks. He's averaging a ball in a break. Runouts in break 28. Break percentage 63. Albanario, look at Albanario. He's streets ahead. He's way up at 81.
Yeah, but you know, Bedhead is right up there.
Yeah, but look at Spectre Dawn. He's down there, 0.7 on the break, and he's only down at 55%.
Yeah, I mean, Spectre Dawn, between breaking crappie and not moving well, he's vulnerable. Mooncake said 13-6 bed. I'm not sure I'd go with that, but Bedhead may have the advantage in that. I mean, if he plays well, I think he's got a good shot.
It was nerves. Nerves not hitting a ball to rail, Larry. No.
Albanera's got a ridiculous break percentage.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody's going to beat him if he keeps breaking like that.
He set the standard. I mean, how often did we say during that 10-ball tournament his break was crap? Was it a 10-ball one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is when the best guy has got that break percentage and it's so much better, that's tough. Look at his runouts from the break, and that's a direct result of that. He's just getting a lot more opportunities.
Yeah, the stats never lie at the end of the day. Everything there is telling you why Albanario is sitting there, the man to be beaten again. So who's going to be up to the task?
Well, Larry, that's kind of the nature of 9-ball now. It's gone that way with the pros. I hate 9-ball in the pros. I mean, it should all be 10-ball, but that's another story. You've heard that rant before.
Right, well, the only thing to address now is what's left in this tournament. So we know that we've got a hot seat match. We've got Albanario. Sorry, that's not it. We've got Albanario and we've got Cobra. And they have until May the 26th, 11 p.m. British summertime, that is, to arrange a match. So that's like 10 days away still, is it not? Or it's not far off it. What's today's date? 16th, 15th? So that's, it's the 15th, so that's another, it is another 10 days, so there's plenty of time to get it arranged. So next week, sort of Tuesday night, Wednesday night would suit me fine, just as a hint. And then, of course, you've got what's left on the one-loss side. So it's the usual suspects. Probably the only exception to that, really, is my outside chance of winning the title is my man there, MC Clarkey, who still has that chance of winning this. Of course, he's going to have a hard task, though. He's going to have to either beat Bedhead or Spectre Dawn to survive when that comes around.
Yep.
And there's always room for improvement. Right, I'm off to catch the rest of the football.
One more thing.
Oh, yeah, here we go. You're going to tell us anything about VP4?
Cowboy tournament.
Here's something now. See, now you've opened a bag of worms, Steve, or a can of worms. It's a can of worms, not a bag of worms.
Cowboy.
Right, just look at the lobby and tell me why this is doing this. Why have we got a 2024 Cowboy World Championship in 7 days, and then we've got one that says it's in 22 days, yet if you click both the links, both of them take you to the proper tournament anyway, so there's something wrong there in the notices. You see how there's 2 different dates for the same tournament?
Uh-oh.
That's weird, isn't it? But if you click the links, it takes you to the proper one and the proper date anyway. But it's
That
just
sounds like somebody screwed up.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. Right, the Cowboy tournament. If we look at that, we can see that there are still 13 open seats for the Cowboy, and again, you've got Stubb still hoping
Where's
he's going to get
Cobra?
something.
I don't see Cobra signed up. I don't see Mooncake signed up.
Cobra's not in it yet.
I don't see
Cobra,
Hairpeg signed up. I don't see One Pocket Slim signed up.
Yeah, Cobra is signed up, but there he's there. He's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
He's
What about
down.
Keith? Where are you, Keith? I don't see you biting anybody.
And you've got progressive pool, i.e., somebody's. Well, of course he's got no rating at all. He's a C rated.
Yeah, it's amazing I can pocket a ball, Cobra. I am blind.
Right.
Coldest pillow. I fancy coldest pillow for this tourney. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope I get you first round. In fact, I hope I get one of the. One of the favourites the first round for all that.
I love that you're in it, Hugh. That's great.
Because I'll be playing fast and loose. You can ask any of the guys that I play with Cowboy in the morning. I'll be playing fast and loose, going for my 3-railer. Just if you want to beat me at that, just set up 3-railers for me. I'll go for them every day of the week. Right, I'm definitely off to catch the end of the football. So,
good night, guys.
We'll see you again whenever the next match is due, whenever that might be. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for Steve's company. And we'll bid you good evening and take care.